We greet you well. We say good morning. Welcome to Top of the Bridge Up and Go. My name is Richie B.
Welcome, Bridge Nation. You know, this is your boy Shelz.
Yes, Bridge Nation. DJ Art is in the building. Morning.
Yeah. Good morning to you, sir. And again, we say good morning, Bridge Nation. It's 3 days. This is one of 3 days left in the month of November, believe it or not. Today being day number 28. And wow. Christmas is really beckoning now. Yeah, man. It's in sight.
Yeah, man.
How was the weekend, gentlemen?
Well, it was a good one. You know, we give thanks. And I go lie, I don't remember much. And that's not because, you know, I did young people things. Nah, I was just asleep. Yeah.
Outside of the football, right?
Yeah, man. Sleep on football.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my friend.
Lucky you.
Yes.
No, I was just saying lucky him.
I don't know weekend go fair.
You might want to say lucky both of you. Yeah, it's a whole lot going on in World Cup football as we speak.
Yeah.
It's halftime between Serbia and Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
There's a member of our team that says an African nation is going to win the World Cup, although that team has not yet been named.
Mm-mm.
But I don't know if Cameroon is one of those being considered. They're already in the lead at halftime, 2-1, right?
No, actually, Serbia is in the lead.
Sorry, Serbia is in the lead.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Must-win game for both of them.
yeah.
They're out.
Yep. Interesting one. Halftime, the second half is just about to get started. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. And we're here to take care of you until 10 o'clock this morning right here on 99.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7 and 0.9 on the FM band. We are streaming as well.
Remember, Bridge Nation, get that app this morning. If for my Android peeps, you know the thing, go to Google Play Store. For my iPhone peeps, the Apple App Store. One word when you type it in to get that visual action. The Bridge, 99 FM.
Right now it's time for
WTF,
What the Fact?
Alright, here this now, Bridge Nation. There is a certain type of creature in the ocean called a pufferfish. SpongeBob fans, you know Mrs. Puff. Yeah, man, that's the thing there. Anyways, there is enough toxin in a pufferfish to kill 30 adults. You know how much adult that? Yeah, man. So there's enough toxin in a pufferfish to kill 30 adults. Now, almost all pufferfish contain tetrodotoxin, a substance that makes them foul tasting and often lethal to fish. Now, to humans, tetrodotoxin is deadly, up to 1,200 times more poisonous than cyanide. There is enough of this toxin in one pufferfish, as I said earlier, to kill almost 30, count it, 30 adult humans. And there, Richie, is no antidote.
What?
Yeah, so left them alone.
Yep.
That's all I have to say. And that goes for a lot of other creatures in the ocean too.
If you want to live, leave. Leave them
Right.
alone.
I agree.
That's it on the screen.
Yeah, man, and then can swallow up, man. People love trouble them.
Wow.
Yeah, man, and then you go to a restaurant and I talk about delicacy.
I look at the screen and I'm seeing danger everywhere.
Why am I look on that and trouble them?
Puffer fish. Enough toxin in one fish that can kill 30 adults.
Mm-hmm.
My God. Other matters inside of Update.
Yeah, so Beanie Man link up with Rihanna and A$AP Rocky at a show in Barbados. And I want to highlight the fact that our very own Kurt Riley was also there.
Left
out the general, man. Watch him
Hey, we have to call him Mr. Riley
watch
from
him
now
do
on.
that. Watch him fit. Watch him smile.
You know, so I go on. He might get the hug.
Yeah, man. Watch him hand pan. Hey, Kurt.
Yo.
Hey, Kurt. Oh, yeah, Anna the right.
Yeah, go on like in the things are Rocky, I watch.
Yeah, this is the A$AP the right. That's
Well,
what.
Shelz.
Yeah.
You see the hand.
No, see it,
I
man.
look on him.
The man smile.
So it's Beanie Man, Kurt Riley, and of course Rihanna and A$AP Rocky
Yes, a good
in
look.
Barbados.
Yeah.
As Beanie Man performed, and they were there supporting him. It's a good look.
Yeah.
Big ups to the Jamaicans who represented
Yeah,
there,
but
including our very own Kurt Riley.
Of course, but what was very interesting was that Beanie Man did his performance, you know, despite suffering an injury to his leg, and he needed crutches to move around. But of course, the veteran performer's work ethic is commendable. You know the thing, as he was determined to not disappoint fans who had already bought tickets for the event. And on his Instagram account, Beanie Man shared photos, of course, posing with the princess of pop and her partner A$AP Rocky, and of course, as we mentioned, the General Kurt Riley. And he went on to say, you know, big ups to everyone who turned out last night. Show was incredible. And he posted, and he continued by saying, you don't know my thing, fractured foot and all, may I go work for my fans then. So big up Beanie Man, big up Kurt.
Zaga.
Zow.
What is interesting, he performed the following night, which was last night, in London at the Hammersmith ballroom
Beanie at work.
to a massive audience. That the clips that I saw, they were singing. I think Rubber Ranks was the MC on that show, so we'll get a chance to ask him later on this morning. But I messaged a friend of mine late last night, and they said the show was off the chain.
Nice.
The clips that we saw, I think he was singing "Girls Them Sugar" and the whole of the audience,
Of course.
lighters flashing, and they were singing. He didn't have to perform.
Yeah,
the other
man.
interesting thing about it is that we saw Beanie Man on crutches in Barbados on Saturday night. Me no see no crutches in England. And him a run up and down. So
Adrenaline.
he must have seen a very good doctor.
Yeah, man. Or after him, but I heard that when you that's what happened after you meet Riri. You know, everything just everything
back
just
into
heal.
place.
Yeah, it does heal. You know, lift you
Yeah,
up.
because I mean the way he looked, even in the photograph we saw a while ago
Yeah.
with Riri and Kurt and ASAP,
Yeah.
looks like he would be on crutches for a while.
Yeah, because he couldn't even hug nobody in my phone.
By the next day, the crutches gone, and him gone at UK,
Which is right.
and done the place.
That's right.
Give big up Beanie Man anyway, the brethren.
Straight.
Now, Popcorn is also in the news, and
boy.
his rumored love interest, the former Miss Jamaica and Miss World, Tony Ann Singh. And it is believed, based on what we're seeing on social media, that they're about to release their first collaboration,
I knew it.
her debut song.
I knew it.
And the cover photo announcing the single, which featured Popcorn on a Harley Davidson with Tony Ann Singh sitting pretty behind him on the bike, was released on Friday. Both are seen wearing sunglasses, while Popcorn accessorizes his look with a face mask, while Tony Ann sports sexy blue strappy heels. And it really is a good look, quite attractive to look at. And I think the song is to be titled Next to Me.
Oh yes.
So, of course, Popcorn already with Burna Boy had the big song Tony Ann Sing, which is a big song.
Yep.
And now it looks like Tony Ann herself and Poppy will be coming out with a single called Next to Me. Now she sings kind of like in the opera kind of vibe. You think that she's gonna bring that kind of delivery to a collabo with Poppy?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't expect no Whitney Houston type thing, although I know she
Mariah
can do
Carey
it. That
kind of
Mariah
vibe.
thing, nah, I think, she can kind of, I don't know.
It could be a nice melody.
I don't know. I'm curious, but I did see this forward. You see me?
It just had to.
Just had to.
It just
you know what I
had to.
mean?
It makes
So
a
it's
lot of
good
sense.
Look. It's
Yeah.
a good look.
Already the world is buzzing.
Yeah.
Tony and Sing next to me.
Yeah, with Popcorn. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just drop the video same time
Got it?
too.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
All right.
Let's drop the video same time to Tony and Poppy.
Yeah.
But
All
don't
right.
waste no time.
So we'll watch and see
Yeah.
and wait and see. All right. That's it for.
Update.
But right now it's time for first of several features that we have, starting off with the proverb of the day.
No mug, no broke, no coffee, no dash way. No mug, no broke, no coffee, no dash way.
That is the proverb.
I like this one
No,
already.
no mug, no brook.
No coffee, no dash.
Obviously,
Yeah, I like this.
no coffee. And by the way, that's spelled C-A-W-F-E-E.
No coffee.
Coffee.
Cow-
No coffee, no dash way.
I like this one.
All right, that's a logical, reasonable
I-
statement.
Yeah, I feel like this has something to do about changing perspective.
Yeah, you could be
Something,
right.
something along those lines. I feel like,
You could be right. You
yeah,
know.
I like this one already.
I have the meaning, so I'm going to share it now.
All right.
All right. So the meaning of this one is, even in the most difficult of times, if total devastation has not occurred, one should count his or her blessings.
See that?
Do not blow simple matters out of proportion.
That's easy.
No mug, no brook, no coffee, no dashway.
Respect.
That is the proverb of the day.
I like
And we
it.
helped you out with the meaning as well. And we move right now into, of course, the
peeve.
pet peeve. Someone's pet peeve. What are pet peeves? These are things that people do that you will find upsetting, irritating, or annoying. And somebody has got today's pet peeve. Let's find out right now.
You know what my pet peeve is? People who pass gas in air conditioned spaces. Like, I get it, it's a normal bodily function, but you feel the sensation that you want to pass gas. At least excuse yourself if possible, no? Or wait little. Like, you're in the ATM. You're not gonna spend forever in the ATM. So just wait till it come out. It's so, I don't even know the word to describe how awful it is. Like when you go in the ATM and it's so funky, for want of a better word, because somebody just let one rip there. Or when you're in a taxi and it's raining and the air conditioning is on, or you're at work and someone could step out and pass gas, but they choose to do it in the presence of others. I just think it's kind of inappropriate. I'm sorry, but especially when them silent and deadly, so you don't really know who do it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a problem for me. But I don't know. Them say let it be free because it killed Mary Lee. But I think we should be more considerate of others in enclosed spaces. So if you can step out and do it,
Out of the taxi.
it's because somebody not gonna know say that you have to step out do. But the fact that you do it, and then everybody's like, who done it? who? It's an unsolved mystery as to who. let one rip. So,
Play innocent.
yeah, that
Play
kind
it.
of irks me the wrong way.
Play innocent,
like
but
it.
right. No, you've spoken about it for a long time. I realized that you
Yeah,
really
man.
need to know.
Like
this.
somebody just like on when she there.
My God. But, I mean, as she quoted the very popular saying,
Yeah.
let me free. you
Yeah.
know, so
I
it's the same thing that killed Mary Lee.
I don't know because of my experience at an all boys institution, but why sometimes you just have to hold it. You can't hold it. You see me? I mean, I understand the whole vibe about being considerate in certain spaces, but in other cases, you mentioned it, Richie, like, you know, in taxi. Taxi in a motion. She said, I read a fart.
Yeah.
Like, for the real man. They want to.
I mean, and maybe the taxi dropping a pothole. All the average I try hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
Get
sorry.
where? The end result is definitely not something.
No,
that,
sir.
not
Oh,
even the
yo.
person. Because remember, you know, even the person that is the culprit would be affected by
Yeah, man. Them fuss.
by
But what I will say, if I was supposed to find a loophole with this pet peeve, if it's a situation where you can't excuse yourself, do so. Because if you just sit down in a room with a bag of people and just make it go on, that kind of disrespectful. But the rain taxi situation, then I can't help you, my friend. That for go fly. That for go let me free, let it go.
Lego that.
Yeah, man.
Well, is that something that you find upsetting as well, or are you a culprit? No, be honest about it.
We are all culprits.
I hear
Jody, you're not a culprit.
I hear somebody, I didn't call any of them, but
Jody,
I hear
I-
somebody ball out a while ago.
Jody-
No!
Oh yeah, I forgot that girls don't do those things. Clearly. Yeah, man. No, I'm gonna forget Richie. Girl don't do them things.
Jody's like, not me.
Not me.
Nah. I'm a respectable lady. I wouldn't do that.
Which is right.
Oh boy.
It's
Anyhow,
been a fun
as you
night,
travel to work this morning, I hope you have no such experience.
Yeah.
And as I said, the wickedest part sometimes is the fact that the culprit has this innocent face and behaves like, hey, who did that? When them know very well says them do that.
I have to spot
Yeah,
that.
not the spot. Trust me. That is what creates a lot of stench. All right, it's now. Now, the Jamaican government's bid to secure an extension of the states of public emergency has been blocked in the Senate. It did not secure the votes needed to have the security measures which were imposed in 7 parishes on Tuesday, November 15, go beyond the initial 14-day period. At least one opposition vote was needed for the measure to be extended. This means that the states of public emergency will in fact expire, I believe, today or tonight, coming to think of it. Now, last week, Tuesday, the government used its majority in the House of Representatives to approve the extension, which requires a 2/3 majority. During the debate, leader of the Government Business Commissioner Johnson Smith argued that the states of public emergency have saved lives, citing a drop in murders in many communities. But leader of the opposition Business, Peter Bunting, rejected arguments that the states of public emergency work. Mr. Bunting further contended that the circumstances do not exist to support any extension whatsoever. He argued that opposition members took an oath to uphold the rights of Jamaicans and the Constitution, and they take that responsibility seriously. Well, this morning we're joined by Senator Donna Scott Mottley, Shadow Minister of Justice and Gender Affairs for the People's National Party, the PNP, who will be speaking more on this matter. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Richie B.
How are you today?
I gather that Shelz is also on air with you.
Yes, Senator, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning, Shelz.
Good morning.
We're always happy to have you. How are you doing today, Senator?
I am wonderful. Thank you.
Good to hear that.
I forgot to wish your listeners good morning.
All right. They heard you, I'm sure. Now, Senator, many persons are still asking, why did the PNP decide not to vote for an extension of the current state of public emergency, and whether or not it was merely a political move, as is being stated by the JLP. How do you respond to that?
Let me start with the allegation that it is a political move.
Yes.
If they say that the entire country wants a state of emergency to continue, the only political move, the only political result from taking that vote would be to hurt our aspirations to be government at the right time when an election is called. If they are correct, it would mean that we would be facing public backlash and a pogrom. So for us to go out there, take that vote, and invite that would be absolutely ridiculous. What we did was that we took a very principled stand. Remember, Richie B, the government has been using this so-called tool in a toolkit, this so-called tool in a toolbox since January 2018. They first called a state of emergency in St. James, and that was in place for 1 year. Mm-hmm. St. James is under state of emergency again. The point that I make through these examples is that what a state of emergency does is that it suppresses the number. That is the main thing. And my view is that the government, under pressure by the public from the growing levels of crime, has resorted again to the only way they get temporary results, using the state of emergency as a tool in a toolkit. I take a dim view of that. I do not believe that that was what the constitutional provision was intended to do. And if you look at the whole suite of measures there in the Constitution, you will see that it was for a situation where we were at war with a foreign state, where we had a public disaster like a hurricane or earthquake, and measures had to be taken immediately in the way that Prime Minister P.J. Patterson had to do when we lost electricity all over the island after the hurricane. And he put it in place for 4 days. The government keeps on coming back to the public with a request for a state of emergency. But in effect, it says that there are 300 or so violent producers who they need to target. Do you have to put 3 million people under these kinds of measures in order to get to 300 and a little people? I suggest that there are many other ways in which this can be done. And finally, Richie B.
Yes.
The government has a mantra because they say, we are saving lives, we are saving lives, we are saving lives. And any state of emergency will, in suppressing the numbers, appear to save people's lives. There are measures long-term measures which can cauterize this wantonness on behalf of the criminals. Long-term measures of identifying them, putting them away, removing them from the society, and giving the society time to breathe and to return to normalcy. Because in the inner city communities, there's no normal living. A lot of people who live uptown don't understand that people can't go from one street to another, that they are imprisoned within their own organization, and not only imprisoned by violence producers, but imprisoned by the political structures which exist in those communities.
Yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
All right. So last night I got a little glimpse of something where your leader Mark Golding was putting forward an alternative suggestion in terms of how this could be achieved. Can you give us any more detail? I didn't get all of the details.
Well,
yes.
We have been consulting with the government. We have spoken to the Commissioner of Police. We have actively been seeking to find some resolutions.
Yes.
What the leader of opposition put forward was that you have a pre-charge detention. This time, however, how we have framed it is that you go to the court and you apply for that pre-charge detention, which will last for 7 days in the first instance. If during this time you're not able to press charges against the person alleged to be a violent producer,
yes,
you can return and get an additional 14 days. And in all, that method will allow you up to 42 days. What it does is that it brings the court into the determination of whether or not somebody's rights to freedom of liberty, one of the rights which the courts say is the greatest right deserving of protection. So it was more a dispassionate approach. It's not just on the whim or desire of somebody who has that kind of authority. The courts are brought into it to examine the reasons, the justification for having them detained. Richie, we understand, we understand that we are in extraordinary times and that we have to use extraordinary measures. I am saying, that you do not use the Constitution in that manner. Because at the end of the day, you have to preserve the Constitution as the highest law in this country. There are many other ways. By using, for example, the enhanced security measures as the primary instrument under which you do these detentions, that you can, in fact, bring law and order to bear. You know that you're going to have to deprive or infringe some person's rights. You know that. But it allows you to be very targeted in terms of the person who you really want to be brought into custody. You don't sweep up 2,000 people and destroy their lives by putting them into custody and forced to release them because they cannot be charged. These are just young men in communities trying to build a life for themselves, going around their normal activity, playing football, coming from church. Even in this state of emergency, which was held recently, the figures, as I remember, do forgive me if I'm off a bit, you take up 395 people, you release 297 people or more. You have some charged with minor charges. You don't have to do this broad sort of net fishing. You can target the persons who you know are giving the real problem in the communities. When you target a wide set of persons like that, just imagine Richie B spending 2 days in custody.
Wow. But are the numbers in terms of murders?
The human indignity that you suffer.
Some people lose their jobs and all that by the time they're back out.
Not only that, if you are in a cell with a whole heap of other men and you have to perform all your bodily functions in front of them, it's a very dehumanizing process,
Demeaning,
on the flip side, though, would you say that the murder rate goes down significantly when the SOEs are called?
The statistics do not show that they go down significantly. I will give you the fact that it has gone down significantly here during the state of emergency. And some people have scoffed at the idea that the World Cup is a contributor. I won't dismiss it. I have looked at the figures coming over the years. In 2013, you had about 116 murders. And 2014, during World Cup, it went to 87. I would use it if I was in a position of authority. I would analyze it and see if it does not give me some insight in what tools to use to transform these communities where you have so much violence. It suggests to me that once people are engaged, once people are, using up their energy, once there's a team going on, team spirit going on, that along with other tools can assist in curbing the murders and the level of violence.
Understood.
You really do need, what you do need is an army of social workers to assist us. Transformation takes a long time, and governments tend to look at these situations in terms of election cycles. So they want to produce quick results so that they can go to the public with. But my view is, regardless of who is a government, there has to be a commitment on the part of politicians to take long-term measures where they might not be the ones who reap what they sow.
Senator Mottley, speaking of commitment, a form of commitment that I know that Jamaicans are really hoping for is that both the PNP and JLP can just in some way come together, especially as it relates to solving crime in Jamaica. Do you think it's even possible for both parties to come together on this matter?
I believe, Shelz, I can tell you, since I have been there, I have been in the Senate, that I am deeply committed to it. Where the government has called on me, I have responded. And I know that the opposition stands ready to respond to the government at any time. We are willing to sit at the table. We have pointed it out. We have offered suggestions. We are not just sitting back and idly waiting for them to fail. That is not the way that we have gone through this process. We want to engage. This is bigger than us. There are people who are not green card holders, are not citizens of any other country, who have made a definite commitment to Jamaica. And we have a duty to make it that place where we all want to live, where we all want to work, where we all want our children to grow. I am ready. The opposition is ready. The entire Senate is ready.
Senator, coming out of a JLP Central Executive meeting yesterday, I see where the Prime Minister is warning that if there is heightened threat to public safety, he says, and I quote, the government may again place areas under states of emergency. Would the People's National Party have a problem with that?
The government has a right to govern. What that would show to the public is an incapacity, a confession, an admission that the government does not know how to deal with this crime issue, that the government is bereft of ideas. Why can't they come up with strategies for implementation in different communities which will guarantee a reduction in murders? But not just a reduction in murders, a change in how communities function. If the Prime Minister could not go forward with his assertion that he would have disclosed a crime plan at his annual conference, if he now comes to say that, what Jamaica should be saying is, what really is the issue? We recall that he went over to Portmore and he made an admission about how overwhelming the situation is. And we know it is overwhelming. Everybody sees it. But I believe that if there was not the determination that when the success is achieved, it must be solely at the feet of the government. They would do a broad reach, not just to the opposition. Richie B, Shelz, I think we need a movement. like a real movement where we engage every single solitary person in this mission.
All sections of society.
Safe again.
Yes.
Every sector.
For
the church came out and supported supported the opposition's move by saying that they thought SOE was unconstitutional. They did not think it was working long term.
For clarity, Senator. For clarity, if the Prime Minister were to go that route, as I indicated that he stated in this meeting yesterday, would that represent a constitutional breach from your perspective?
Well, there is nothing in the Constitution which prohibits it. Okay. As I said before, the Constitution was never framed for a leader, for the executive, for the government to act in this way. How it is framed is that it would be for a real public emergency. If he determines to go ahead and use it in that way, somebody would have to challenge it so that we would have the court pronounce on it.
Okay. We're out of time.
Because there's a lot of unconstitutional legislation around, but as the Chief Justice pointed out in the NIDS case, which we brought, it has to come to the court first.
We're out of time, Senator Donna Scott Mottley. We thank you for your thoughts as usual. On a lighter note, do you have a favorite team in the World Cup?
I'm a Jamaican. I have Brazil.
I knew it.
We're on the same side.
It's like what I love. Brazil wins the match, and everybody says, "We are winning. We are winning."
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your thoughts. Have a great day.
And thank you. Have a safe day.
Thank you. Senator Donna Scott Mottley, Shadow Minister of Justice and Gender Affairs for the People's National Party. Let's go to our telephones right now, and there are a number of callers that are lined up. Good morning to our first caller. You're on. Good morning.
Hello, morning.
Good morning.
Man.
Who's this, Earl?
Fisher.
Go on, bro.
Go on.
Yeah.
Which team you back in? Supporting the World Cup?
Frenchman, me a Frenchman,
Yo. Mbappe go on good, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, the man lick a double there, bossy.
Big up yourself.
Good luck. What is your answer for the secret sound game?
I think a two pieces of sticker are rubbed together and then after she rub them, she knock them.
Wow. Jody, you know for light fire, sir?
Make a fire.
Jody, you know for light fire, sir? You know.
The friction caused, you know the thing, go.
Yeah.
Fisher.
Yeah.
Let's find out if you're correct.
Yeah, big up Francia.
Have a good one. Good luck with the team.
Yeah.
Let's go in one more time. This is the secret sound game. The sound that you must identify is this. That's the sound, Bridge Nation. Call us and identify it for this gift package that we have. Good morning. You're on the air. Caller number 2. Hello.
Hey, morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Pardon? Who's speaking?
Delroy.
Oh, Delroy. What going?
Morning, Delroy.
Man with many girl. I ain't got no money to you.
All right.
Oh, you're brave.
Noted.
You're brave.
Yeah,
So you're
Ryan Sterling general, man.
True. Can't fight that.
you were disappointed with the result against
Wales. America, sir.
the US, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like you know, like what them play still. If you can't score, me can't score.
All right, Delroy. Let's go on to the secret sound game now. Good luck, by the way, with your team going forward. Yeah. What's your answer?
Fire burning in a fireplace.
Fire burning in a fireplace here in Jamaica ahead of Christmas. That is your final answer? All right, Delroy.
Jamaica fireplace?
Yeah.
Man, that's a serious question. Better do. May I ask a port more
You
minute?
have grill.
I was being a little sarcastic.
You have grill. You have like, you can like a fire.
We'll see.
Delroy.
I said Delroy. We'll see, man.
I tell you the truth, you don't even have to belabor the point.
Facts.
Because guess what? The verdict is already in. Is it a moment of celebration? Let's find out. Not this time.
Good try, Delroy.
Sorry, not today. Let's go in one more time and see if we can find a winner. It's the secret sound game. Moments before we get to join Robo Ranks in the UK on, of course, the Beat London 103.6 for the simulcast. Right now, we say good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Joe.
Morning.
How you do?
I'm good.
Blessed love. Which is your
Argentina.
Argentina, right? Yeah.
You shall not even ask that.
Sorry, man. Sorry. How you like how Messi put one in the other day, boss?
Oh, Lord, man.
Big moment, eh?
Brilliant goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Argentines are back.
All right. Oddly said the Argentines are back.
Yes.
I'll see you guys at 11, you know.
At when?
At 11.
At 11, yes,
But I
please.
see.
You want to get a good match? Watch the Brazil match.
Oh my.
All right.
Oh wow.
What's your answer this morning?
Someone lighting fire.
Someone lighting fire. Let's give it to Joseph. That's the answer. Sorry, boss. Many calls are coming in now. Let's take them one by one. Good morning. You're on the air. We don't have a lot of time. What's your answer to the secret sound game?
Morning.
Good morning. Who is this?
Earl calling.
Earl run the world.
Earl. Which is your team, Earl?
Spain, I'm a Spain man.
Spain. Yeah. Oh, you met Germany draw there yesterday, brethren.
No,
That's all yourself.
we couldn't even explain that.
Yeah. Earl, no about that. Good.
We never want them drop
Hey.
out.
Exactly.
The young youth them on the Spanish team look good.
Maestro
though.
them.
I tell you.
Yeah,
Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your answer?
All right. So I think it's a match. A match is stick. Trying to light a fire.
Yeah, man, I know that one day.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the same go.
I can
All right.
relate.
I heard you.
And
You heard, Shelz. All right. Can we take? I think Jody's saying there are two more that we need to take. So let's go. And good morning. You're on the air. Welcome to the Secret Sound Game. Hello. Bridge 99. Good morning.
Time, boss.
Dennis.
Yeah, man.
Have no fear.
Yeah, man.
Which team you support, brethren?
Rasta must the Brazil team, man.
All right, man. 11 o'clock this morning, yeah?
All right, bye-bye.
All
That's
right.
your miss me.
All right, cool.
All right, here we go on now. On to the secret sound now.
Yes, Dennis.
You know, you pick up a box of matches and the matches box cool and you rub it all on your pants or your shirt and your style.
Uh-huh.
The matches feel like.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
yeah, man.
I need to take a look at trouble.
And that's how we go, man.
Not wrong.
All right.
Not wrong.
Straight out of the matches box. Hold this.
Yeah, man.
That's what it sounds like. And our final call this morning. Good morning. You're on the air. Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, man.
Good morning.
This is the man from St. Bess.
Yes, this is Renford from Senti.
The original Renford from Senti. Welcome, Renford. Which is your team?
Yeah, you don't know what's up Brazil all over, you know?
Me like how you talk.
Yeah.
I hope I like your answer as well. Let's find out. What's your answer?
Well, my answer is fireman marching. And you hear the boat marching, you know?
Oh, you hear that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Repeat that loud and clear. Let me hear it.
Yes, it's fireman marching. And you can hear the boat them going.
Fireman marching, and you can
Yes.
hear the boots as they're marching, right?
Yes.
Yo, hey, listen, man. A while ago, we almost got a shocker. But I don't think he's a rocker. No, he's Renford. So give it to him, Shelz. Verdict. Sorry, Renford. Think about it a little deeper, bro. And we're standing by to join Robo Ranks in the UK. In the UK connection happening now between Bridge 99 FM and, of course, The Beat London 103.6 FM. From Jamaica to the UK. Good morning, or should we say good afternoon, Robo.
Good afternoon from London, UK. Good afternoon from our I tried to Jojo just sent me a message and said turn your camera on, Robo. And I didn't want to turn my camera on because as you can clearly see in my eyes.
Oh, you need some sleep.
I've got the brand new influenza. I'm suffering from the flu, bro. And
sorry to hear that,
I
man.
can't shake it off. So yeah, I didn't want to turn the cameras on, but I'm on. We're on camera. Beat 103.6.
Yeah.
We'll try to get through the show.
And the good thing is, your flu is not showing through the camera, so you're good. You're good to go.
as long as I don't go. You lot can't get it over there.
Yeah.
As much as I can try to share it. Not gonna work.
A little rest will help later on today if you don't have a very hectic day ahead of you.
I had a hectic day yesterday. I sent you something obviously earlier on, Richie.
I mentioned it. You were there. I suspect.
was there.
You were working.
I was there working, doing a Richie B, keeping the procedures going, and it was quite a thing to have 5,000 people looking at you saying, "Are you gonna stop talking? Let in the stars." We're doing, you got these band changes and you're trying to find something to talk about. You're like, "Oh, is that the time? Is that the weather? Anybody fancy a cup of tea?" You're trying everything.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to delve into the books of Richie B. What can I say?
Just tell them straight up, man. All that's happening here is that we have a few minutes before the band is changed. And whilst we have those few minutes, here's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, but there's a difference. You do it with authority. They're just looking at me like, "Brother, you pay that money. We need to see some action, not a bagat mode." You understand?
Yeah,
so,
but it's a good look. Beanie Man pulled out the crowds. 5,000 at the Hammersmith Ballroom. That's a good look. I saw snippets of it, and it really looked like an engaging show that he had them eating out of the palm of his hands.
It was a measured performance. He didn't have to do much more than just sing his tracks. And this is the same thing we mention all the time. It's like, everybody want to go trending. It's all about trending. But we're trending. We're on a one-way ticket to nowhere with trending. What you need is having songs. He's had over 200 hit songs. And he was performing those songs in the same way Beres Hammond would perform those hit songs. He doesn't have to sing a new song.
Yeah.
And the crowd were just, as they say, eating out of his hands. Big performance from Mr. Vegas also. A few special guests. Crepton Conan, UK. Grime MCs. Stylo G. QQ. It was an amazing show to be at. And because he hasn't been here for over 10 years, the culture is so thirsty, Richie.
Yeah.
When they're thirsty like that, man, you can't go wrong. Anybody that feels, that it doesn't, it's about trending. It ain't about trending. It's what people really want.
This show was originally set for the 22nd, I think, of September, wasn't it?
Yes, the 22nd of September, and it got moved because of, obviously, the Queen's passing of the Queen. And, these things made it kind of difficult to obtain visas because the visa office was closed for 12 days and all of that. But it happened, and I'll tell you what, Richie, if it was to happen again next week Sunday, it would be another 5,000.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
100%.
Yeah. And it's coming on a weekend when Beanie Man the night before was in Barbados on crutches, taking pictures after his performance with Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, who were also there supporting him. And I thought that Beanie would have been on crutches at the show in London, but somehow, miraculously it seemed, he was healed and was able to move around quite a bit.
He wasn't actually healed. I spoke to him just before the show.
Yeah.
He performed that whole show, an hour and 10-minute set, in pain. Wow. He was like, and he got through the show. He just done the show. It was so measured. It was like, the crowd just helped him through, but he done the show in pain. Oh, I mean, he made mention to the crowd. The crowd was like, "Okay, just keep singing." So, them fans, man. The fans are crazy, man. But it was a great look. Shout out to everybody that was in the house. Hammersmith, Eventim Apollo. Let's do it again. You need to do this some more.
Yeah, congratulations to all involved, including my colleague here, Robo Ranks, who was a host for the night. And the reports and the reviews are coming in very well for you as well. So big up yourself.
Respect.
All right.
And we're going to get into a very important interview. Richie, I'm looking forward to this one. Today we'll be speaking with Perisa Michaela Miller. And she's always felt the need to help others and was also intrigued by the world of science. Now, this is why she has embarked upon a Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, or MBBS program of study at the University of the West Indies, UWI Mona, after she graduated from the Meadowbrook High School. However, financial struggles stand in the way of the second-year student realizing her dream. Jano, I know them way there. Yearly, the tuition for the MBBS program amounts to $4.3 million, and each semester an amount of $2.17 million has to be paid. Now, Miller is currently in need of financial assistance of $1 million to complete her semester 1 examinations, which are set to begin on December 8th. Hear this, the deadline for the payment is December 2nd. Now, as a result, without sitting these examinations, she will not be able to move on to the next semester. Of course, you know we have to. She's a hardworking student, Richie, and we
Yeah.
know that struggle. Trust me. So it's a pleasure to welcome Perisa to the show. Morning, Perisa.
Good morning.
Morning. Did I get the pronunciation right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. Greetings.
Perisa, there could have been an easier way to get this done. Shelz, why are you laughing, Shelz?
No, let me hear you, I guess. Let me hear it.
Perisa,
Yes.
if only you just called us here and asked Shelz, you might have been quite okay this morning. But since we have decided to do the interview, we'll follow through nonetheless.
Hey, Perisa, no follow him up here, Perisa.
She has a sense of humor, so she did chuckle. All right, Perisa, we listened to Shelz reading that intro, and we understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for joining us this morning, first of all, and welcome to Bridge 99 FM. All right.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, let's start by talking a little bit about your dream to become a doctor. When did it start?
Well, it started at a very young age. I grew up with my grandmother as a dog woman. She frequently went to the veterinarian, to get the puppies checked up and stuff. And I was always intrigued in the world of science from that age. And yeah, basically that's where it started.
Now we understand the struggles right now, but how would you sum up the experience so far as you pursue the doctorate?
I mean, it has been mentally draining, right? Having to balance my studies and the financial aspect of things, but I'm trying to keep the faith and keep a positive mindset.
Which is right. Which is right. Now, speaking of the challenges, tell us a little. Just give us some insight into the challenges, because as I mentioned in the intro, me know what it's about in Perisa, because I went through it. But for a med student, I can't imagine what that's like. So just give us some insight, please.
Well, currently my mother, who's a domestic worker, she is hypertensive and she's diabetic, and she took the streets for me, right, and my future, and that's the reason I'm here today, right? So I'm, very much grateful for my mother for going out of her way, being that she's sick, to do this for me and my future.
Wow.
You're a young person. You've worked hard, to get to this level of your education, and we think you deserve to be able to complete your educational studies. I would assume then that you have actually gone through all of the other channels in terms of trying to seek support from whatever agencies are out there without getting the required amount of money. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And so you have a shortfall now of how much?
Of $1 million.
$1 million. And what will that $1 million do for you in terms of your studies? Just put it in perspective for us.
Firstly, it would mean a lot to me. It would complete the payment of my semester 1 balances so that I'll be able to sit my final examinations and move on to the second semester of my studies.
Right. And you have a deadline that's coming up on the 2nd of December.
Wow.
Yes, on the 2nd. However, my examinations have been pushed to the 12th of December. So I have a little extra time to pay. So maybe by next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, will be like the final deadline for the payments.
Right. Have you been maintaining good grades and all of that?
Yes, I have. Been studying hard.
That's great. That's great.
Right.
So what is the appeal? I want you to put it in your own words. I think we have given the context.
Yeah.
And there might be somebody listening who is able to, if not do all of it, do a portion of it, and there might be several persons who can assist in this arena. So I want you to say it in your own words, just to make that appeal right here, right now.
Hi everyone again. I am a medical student in need of financial assistance. I am determined, hardworking, and I'm trying to, make a better future for myself and my family as well. And God willing, in the future, I'll be able to give back to my community, give back to my alma mater, right? And students, give back to students who are also in a financial, are financially struggling as well.
Yes.
And also to help others,
Which is right. Perisa, like I said, I this is something we hear a lot, coming from university students. I don't know the perspective from a medical student's standpoint, so I thank you for that perspective. But I'm curious, as it relates to the institution itself, UWI, has it always been that way for med students? Because I know the institution had some little guidelines, like if you don't pay, you could still see the exams, but you won't see your grades. Has it always been like this for med students?
Yes, it has always been this way.
Wow. For so much money that them do? No, sir. Joke. Wow, Richard, that's seriously good.
Yeah, man, it is.
I remember because I was at Karamak. You understand me, Perisa? And I remember when I heard that whole, I guess you can call it mandate or whatever, and they were like, "Yo, if you don't pay, see the exams," and some protests and stuff from students, the guild and all of that. And then what happened as a result was that if you couldn't pay, you don't get to see your grades. Perisa, I'm telling you this. Don't follow me still. I'm telling you what I did. When I heard say I couldn't see my grades, I was like, but we can't see the exam though. I was like, yeah man, alright, cool. We'll just go ahead and do the exam. Me and feel like Michelle. Richie wanted to say something. I'll know some of them grade them, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and do the whole thing. I'm gonna say, yo, teacher look at me and just give me thumbs up. You're good man. I was like, alright, cool. But yeah, but no, in the case for a mid student, Richie, it's serious, man. And I like the perspective that, she wants to complete her studies because she wants to give back.
Jamaica needs people like Perisa, believe you me, and she should be allowed to continue her studies, and she has mentioned clearly her mother is not able, although she's trying. She's a domestic helper, and is not even well, but has been doing as best as she can. And so we're making an appeal as well. By the way, how can persons actually contribute to your education if they so desire, Perisa?
They can donate through Paymaster and the Bill Express. They'll have to provide my name and my student ID. And they can also pay via the university's e-commerce online system. Yes. So those are the two ways that they can contribute.
All right, Perisa, because we know people are listening right now, people that want to check in and things. So just repeat that once again. And is it so you said the student ID. Is there? I don't know if you want to say that on air. I don't know. Is there?
Fine.
It's fine.
It's
all right.
fine.
All right. So let's give us some more clarification once again.
Yes. So my student ID is 620-1391-86. That's 620-1391-86, and the donors can pay again through Paymaster or Bill Express, providing my name and my student ID.
And her name is Perisa, spelled Perisa. Her surname is Miller. There are a lot of persons who are doing good. We just saw Shensia, who came to the assistance of a law student. There are many Jamaicans out there who I'm sure would be quite willing and able to assist Perisa, not just here in Jamaica, but we also have Jamaicans in the Jamaican diaspora who might be listening as well. So we are putting out an appeal. If you can assist, please do so. Her name is Perisa Miller. Her student ID number 620-139-186. And again, where can they make contributions?
To Paymaster and also to Bill Express. And if they want, they can pay through the UA's e-commerce system, which is online. Okay, all right. So it would be Paymaster or Bill Express or through UA's online e-commerce online system. All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on this morning, highlighting the challenge you're having, and we're hoping that you'll be able to get the required funds so you can continue with your education. Thank you, Perisa, and best wishes. All right. Yes, thanks again.
Yeah, man, not flow.
All the best. All right. That was Perisa Miller, and I'm sure that it took a lot out of her to be able to come on and speak publicly about this challenge that she's having. She deserves to get the help, doesn't she?
Well,
yeah, man.
Well, we're going to get into our final interview, and I'm looking forward to this one, gents. Welcome to Top of the Bridge Up and Go, by the way. All right, here we're going. Our next guest was raised in the church, where he sang on the youth choir. We know the tingo. There, he and 3 other members started a group called Suspense. Interesting. The group lasted for 3 years, and at the time, our guest today, whose name is Minister Treasure, decided to start his solo career, but as a secular artist. However, in December 2007, he decided to return to the gospel scene as an artist, and of course, that's when he changed his name to Minister Treasure. And he's seen some success. Of course, in 2008, Minister Treasure entered the JCDC Gospel Song Competition, and he got prized as the best performer. And he's been performing ever since at a lot of gospel events locally, such as Inner City Community Outreach Ministry and many award shows. So, help me welcome Richie, the General himself, Minister Treasure. Morning, General. Morning.
Treasure in the building.
See there?
Blessed morning, you know. The
Morning.
FM, big up yourself.
Yeah, man.
Morning, Minister. How are you today, sir?
Yeah, most definitely blessing and highly favored, is it?
Which is right. Now, Minister Treasure, you know, I have to ask a question right away. Two questions. Two things more I know. What was your name when you went into the secular scene? And tell us the meaning behind the name change, Minister Treasure.
Yes, upon the secular scene, I used to known as Jadi.
Jadi.
You know, Jadi, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Based upon the song we write, it's more like social commentary type of vibe.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So, go by the name Jadi. And then, after transition to the gospel scene, my brother first, he was a part of the group as well. He first decided to walk in and follow Christ. So I was looking for a name for him. And when I give him the name Minister Treasure, he said, no, I like the name then. So, you know, circumstances now when I start to be a part of the gospel scene, I say, no, probably that name was meant for me based upon the situation that led me to the church.
Respect.
Yeah.
What is the inspiration behind the name itself, Minister Treasure? Why Treasure?
So Treasure, yeah. So I never sending it in the bio, but you know, off script. I was shot 3 times when I was in August. I survived, and the scripture that popped out to me was Deuteronomy 7:6 that God, out of all the people in the world, God have chosen for his treasure position. So that's how the name come alive. And I just place it and say, yeah, all right, I listen up. Treasure this.
Yeah. Okay. No lingering effects per se of those shots that you got?
Yeah, it's mostly in my leg, you know. I get 2 shots in my leg, one grazed me and one grazed me from the belly.
Okay.
You know, God is good.
God is definitely good. Man. In your journey, you started out in a group. You left and became a secular artist. So the group obviously was gospel, a gospel group.
Yeah.
Left and became a secular artist. Then you returned full circle back into the church. Talk to us in greater detail, Minister Treasure, about your journey with your faith and with your music.
Yeah, journey. On this side, you know, with gospel music, you know, it's tough. Many people that say it unfair, but you know, it's a process. Some situation I say, you know, but we just leave certain things, and you know, if the passion, if you have that passion, you know your calling, and you know what God is placing you, where God is leading you, you have to just follow that, you know, because it's not an easy task, you know, being in the gospel fraternity. So, but you have to know who you are in Christ, you know what you stand for, and just follow the journey, but you with the journey. Seed, plant the seed, and then time, then harvest. We don't know when is harvest, but we're still in our next in line for the blessing, you know.
Yes. Which is right. Now, Minister Treasure, I'm curious, as it relates, because you mentioned when you were on the secular scene, it's not like you didn't make Ray type of music. You were kind of more of a conscious artist. So did that make, lyrically speaking, when it comes to the music, was it an easy transition moving from, you know, singing secular music to gospel music? Because, you know, you're still there sing good songs, same way.
Yeah, we don't sing good songs, but the duty part, you know, we don't do secular music, you know. We used to get a lot of, what I call it now, sponsors. You know, so if they call for doing anything, we get a whole heap of sponsors. No hesitation and stuff like that. So so the transition now to gospel music. Yeah, we don't really get the whole heap of support with what we're doing, but we still have to just maintain the focus on the journey, you know?
Which is right.
Are you a minister, or is it that you minister through your music?
Yeah.
Yeah, minister through the music.
Oh. All right. Now we want to play one of your songs. I think we got about 3 of them that were sent to us, and we appreciate that. Before we get to that, though, Minister Treasure, tell us a little bit about where can you be found? Are you making any appearances? And tell us also about some of your ambitions in the next few years as you progress as a gospel artist.
Definitely, because where I was from and where I'm going, I can see doors is opening, because there's a point in time when it look like, I eat this pecan, but I frustrated. Sometimes it can be frustrating, doing the journey. Cause I look for support from people who think I counterpart and stuff like that. And
it's not forthcoming.
I give it up. Can't bother, but get the vision and say, time to go. If nobody not going to do it for you, you have to pick up yourself and do this for yourself. Doing your own promotions, doing your own music, get your chucks them up. Everything, just do it yourself. Nobody never do it for you. So I'm just on this journey, I say, all right, then promote, push, be more on the scene, short clippings, so you can find me on all platforms. My music is also distributed on all platforms, Apple Music, iTunes, Shazam, Amazon, all over the place. YouTube, you can find me on YouTube as well.
And that's at Minister Treasure. Just type in that and the fans.
Minister Treasure.
Okay, cool. Respect, man, respect. All right, so we have a track line up for you, Minister Treasure.
So we're gonna play a song called, is it Time to Pray? Let us pray.
Let us pray.
Let us
All
pray.
right.
That is the song that we have selected this morning, Minister Treasure. We thank you for talking with us, and we wish you all the best going forward. I know that you started out in the church, then you went into the secular world. You're back in the church. With all the temptations going on, are you firmly grounded in the church and will not be distracted by things of the world again?
Not be distracted by the things of the world. The world are nice. That deal is nice, so I can't be distracted by the world. Every time I step out, it's an attack on my life. So I say, you know what? I just stay on the present attack. I just do his work,
So you're rooted and grounded.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Good talking with you. Let us listen to your song called Let Us Pray. Great talking with you, man. Have a good day, all right? Best wishes.
Big up.
Blessing.